we're at the bottom of the hour. Doug, I think you're on the moderator line, yes?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Go Diamond Focus Call Monday morning. I'm actually en route for a couple of day getaway, so Doug Stroop's going to lead to this morning's call. Of course, one of our newest Black Diamonds, but there seems to be a new one on a weekly basis. It was the precursor to becoming Diamond Elite and beyond. And so, Doug, I understand you just finished a Super Saturday yourself.
Yes, we sure did. I'm still in Virginia, actually. We're checking out of the hotel and packing our bags as we speak. But I told my wife, hey, this is what leaders do. When you get a call from a leader that asks you to take over the call, you just say yes and you do it. And we're always prepared and ready to kind of cast a vision for those on the call this morning. So, Dave, I thank you for the opportunity. And no problem,
I caught Doug in the parking lot, so thanks very much. But just before I pass it to you, let me just give you a little bit of a snapshot of the weekend we just had. We had a packed house here in Toronto. Of course, we did the gold reception in my backyard, and that was kind of that was the first, and it's a great thing to be doing during the summer months. We get together, potlucks, barbecues, and leadership gatherings, and so forth. And people bring guests, of course. We had about 50 people in the backyard, and at least 25 of them were guests. We had a 100% enrollment. Everybody joined, and most of them were Builder 2s. And then, of course, the next day, Jude Holland, one of our new rising stars here in Toronto, underneath Karen Hill, and Bob Budd, did most of the training, along, of course, with Ryan Palmer and Josh Plant. And we had a full house, and yes, the postings are on Facebook. And so, lots of great things going on. That's just one example. Virginia's another, and there are many others, including, as Ron Clayton mentioned, a major event in Chicago. And I think, Doug, if you will, there's a major promotion coming up in July, and people are wondering what they should be doing. Should they be waiting till July so that people can take advantage? Or should they be doing things this minute to prepare to get the maximum benefit in July? And my answer is, and I'm telling you as a DLC member, best thing you can do right now is, as always, it really never changes, is enroll a couple of new people. If you've got some new people started, brand new people started, and they're just getting their bearings and just getting oriented, then in July they're going to have maximum benefit from that promotion. So I think maybe the theme for this week, Doug, would be how to reload your funnel, how to press the reset button and set yourself up for a big summer. And I see that you and Amy and your team are doing that. Here you are, second week in June, graduation time, and you're just leaving a Super Saturday. So there's an example right there. And Doug, with that, appreciate everything that you do, have done, and continue to do. And I will pass the call to you, sir.
All right, thank you so much. There you have it, folks. Dave Moses on a trip there at the airport. He called me just about 5 minutes ago and asked to take the call. And it's always a wonderful time. Thank you for all that you do. I told people, I told them this weekend in our training here in Virginia, and I've told people this over and over, I absolutely love the opportunity to inspire other people, to educate and equip others to be able to rise to the top. And here in DJ International, we have everything already in place. Everything. And I have to emphasize that word. It's another E word. I find myself doing a lot of training on words that begin with an E. There's so many wonderful words out there like empower and equip and educate. And again, everything that we place here within ZJ International. We had a wonderful Super Saturday here. One of the in Hampton, Virginia. One of the things that my wife Amy and I have chosen to do now for at least the last 3 years or so, and that is to go to where the action is. Go to where the rising stars are. Go to where there's leadership brewing and beginning, and where there's leadership that's already there, and to really drive that home, drive that deep, do the training, do the business building activities in those areas that's going to allow those leaders to rise to the top. And so that's what we're continuing to do. Not saying that everybody has to travel around like we do. There's many, many things, obviously, that we can do from our home office. And yes, we do a very high percentage of our business from our home office. But we have chosen, and we continue to do this, to travel to different parts of the country to go face to face, belly to belly, if you will. Dave, I've heard you say that many times. To do this relationship building that is so vital and so important here with ZJ International. And so, yes, that's what we've done here. We had Tony Fleming, Double Diamond out of Atlanta, do some wonderful training here with my wife and I this past Saturday. And we had an interesting thing happen. And that is, we had Jerem Bastrop, Director of North American Sales, who was also scheduled to be here with us. I understood that he was doing an event there in Tennessee, also the same weekend, but what he had chosen to be at their event Friday night and out Saturday morning to be with us at our event here in Virginia. And en route, his plane broke down on the runway in Atlanta. And so in between our trainings here, as our event had already begun, I did my portion of the initial training, and then I went and checked my phone, and I had a message from him that his plane broke down. He was sitting in the runway. They had gotten everyone off of the plane now. They were just waiting to see what was going to happen. And basically broke down in Atlanta, stuck, at the mercy of the airlines, and was unable to make it personally to Virginia. But his next comment really struck with me. He said, I feel bad that I can't be there, and I don't want to miss this opportunity to train the people that are there. So can we Skype and I can still do my training? And I said, absolutely, let me see if we can make that work. So we did. Figured out a way to make that happen. And so we were still able to have Jerem Bastrop, and he Skyped in from an office or somewhere in the Atlanta airport, where he could get to where it was basically quiet, and was able to do his training through Skype for our event here in Virginia, and it worked out wonderfully. And the training that he did was incredible. So folks, I know probably a lot of us on the line have been able to hear our Director of North American Sales, Jerem Bastrop, do his training. And he just really is from the heart. It was a wonderful, wonderful event that we had here, again, with Jerem and Tony Fleming and our local leaders here in the area, as well as my wife Amy and I. And we had about 80 people in attendance, and that was a great turnout. And I would say almost half of those were guests. So when you have that, people and leaders are inviting others to come out. It's a wonderful, wonderful event. And I know David mentioned at the top of the call about the promotion that is coming up. I don't know what that is yet. But I do know, and what I'm hearing is, within the next couple of weeks, we are all going to be hearing the details of what will become the largest promotion in the history of ZJ International. Now, folks, my wife Amy and I have been involved with the company. It'll be 4 years in July. So we're just, just a couple of weeks away from our 4-year anniversary with Zija. And there have been some really, really nice incentives and promotions that Ken Brailsford has put out into the market over these years. And that's one of the things that we have been just always feeling very, very blessed to be a part of this company, because Ken Brailsford and his management team is always looking for more ways to put more money back into the pockets of those of us that are building our Zija business, those of us that are actively doing the business building activities on a daily basis. He's always finding more ways to put more money back into our pockets. And so now here we are hearing that they're about to unfold the biggest promotion in Zija history. And that's going to be coming out here within the next couple of weeks. So what do we do before then, between now and then, when that new promotion is going to be announced to all of Zija Nation? Well, obviously the thing that all of us should be doing is continuing to do the basic business building activities on a daily basis. And what is that? That's finding 2 new people. I think we're always doing that. Always looking for those new people that we want to be in business with. Those new people that we want to be helping with these incredible products and this incredible opportunity. Looking for those people that we can help. Looking for those people that really want this and that see this and catch the vision that we all have. The reasons why we're involved in Zija International today, the reasons why we're on this Go Diamond focus call, obviously is because all of us want to go diamond and beyond. And we see this vision that, as I mentioned earlier, everything is already in place. For all of us on this line and all of those that we're about to reach out to after this call that aren't even on board yet. But we are continuing because we have caught the vision, because we realize this is achievable, because we realize Zija has everything going for it for all of us to be highly successful. Then our passion and our belief really goes ahead of us, if you will, and kind of drives us to continue looking for those people that we want to be in business with and those people that we want to work with, those that we want to help. And we know as we do that, as we help new people achieve their goals and whatever it might be, different levels of the higher pen ranks or, working in depth below them. As we continue doing these things, then we know that all of us will be able to be at the top leadership levels of Zija International. So, yes, in preparation for this new promotion and incentive that is about to be announced within the next 2 weeks, again, I'm not really dangling a carrot out there this morning. I don't know what this is going to be, but I know it's going to be good because of the track record of Ken Brailsford and having surrounded himself with some of the best minds in the wellness industry, and having been able to spend time with him and his wife Linda, and with Rod and his wife, and all Ryan and Jerem, and all the minds that are driving this train down the track, and all of us have the blessing and the privilege to be on this train as we're moving forward. I know based on their track record, based on their heart, based on the fact that they're always finding more ways, as I said, to put money back in the pockets of the distributors that are out here actively building businesses. Folks, whatever this incentive is, it's going to be great. As I mentioned, there have been a lot of great ones along the way. And my wife and me have been amazed at that. So now to hear that this one's going to be the biggest one and the best one ever in the history of ZG International, what we should be doing is making sure that we are sponsoring new people this period. Yeah, go out there today. Again, just continue looking for those new people and sponsoring them into your business, and that way you will be setting yourself up for your own future success by doing that as this incentive gets rolled out. So continue doing those basic business building activities. Now, let me just say this for a moment. I was talking about going out and looking and finding those people. Something that has struck me along the way is a lot of times we will be kind of on the hunt, if that makes sense. Hunting and, looking for that new person. But, I don't know, probably even a couple of years ago in our process, in our journey now that's led us to Black Diamond, something changed in our mindset along the way. And here's that. I'll share this little nugget with you this morning. Rather than going out and looking or hunting for, I'd love to have that person in my business. And there's nothing at all wrong with that. I'm not saying this is a right or wrong thing. I'm just saying there's something that changed in my outlook, in my thinking. And that is, because I was hearing so much about personal development and the need for changing who we are to become the leader that our teams need us to be. And in that type of thinking, it began to hit me that rather than me going out and hunting for that person, looking for that person that can help me get to the top, rather than that, I began realizing the need to work on myself and to become the person that they would want to do business with. To become the person that would attract that business builder. And hopefully that makes sense to us this morning, and the difference in the transition of my mindset as that changed from going out daily and hunting and looking for that person that would help us in our business, but rather working on myself and becoming the type of person that would attract them and attract those leaders, that will attract those business builders to you, because now you've become that leader that will attract leaders, and that they see you as someone they want to do business with. And that made all the difference in the world in my mindset. And so as we began doing that, now we look back and we've seen that we've been able to attract some really good leaders and business builders. Now obviously we realize people aren't leaders immediately, right when you get started, but they have that potential. They become those rising stars. They become the future leaders throughout our organization and throughout VJ Nation. But again, working on yourself more than on your team. I've heard so many of the top field leaders mention that, the importance of that personal development that changes who we are so that we become the other leaders and other builders to our business. And then when in doing that, we are developing this posture that comes across to those people as we talk to them, as we invite them, as we pique their interest in this opportunity. And so it's just been an amazing thing to see. So let's continue to do that. And I just want to share a few things here also as well. And that is, I mentioned something about casting a vision. Folks, it becomes very simple when we realize what we have, when we realize who we have at the head of this putting him up on a pedestal, and we're not idolizing the man, but look at the track record of who he is and the high integrity leadership that he brings to this company. It becomes simple when we realize what we have, that we can then easily cast that vision for other people that are looking at this opportunity. So obviously, we all know on the line, we're plugging into the system and we're inviting folks to look at information, and then we're letting that information do the presentation for you, and then we are connecting them, plugging them into our support team, and we're validating that information, and we're helping that new person get started in your organization. That's what this system is all about, and when we work together as a team, that just speaks volumes to that new person. I'm going to tell you what, that's one of the biggest things that I have seen and that I have thoroughly enjoyed in our journey with ZJ International, and that is developing that team concept, working together with your team. It really gets fun. And I remember when that duplication began starting in our organization a while back, and that duplication led to the momentum that we are thoroughly enjoying today. When that begins and you really are working together with those leaders and developing that duplication and casting that vision and working with them to develop their skills and that personal development and again working together as a team, that's one of the biggest things that I've seen throughout ZJ Nation is that we truly do offer that team concept, which a lot of other companies out there do not do. And I know that because I've seen that, I've experienced that in past companies that I've been involved with, is that they'll say, well, okay, you're working with someone and now you sponsor them into your business and you rejoice in that and you go find someone else and you kind of leave that new person by themselves to kind of find their own way. Well, we don't do that here, and we can't do that here at ZJ International. We must develop and help to develop that new person and hold their hand for a little while, and that because they're not going to know what to do unless we're training them and plugging them into the team and into ZJ University and into the Fast Start training calls and into the information and all the training that's offered there at One Team Worldwide, and there's just so much available to that brand new distributor that we really do have to be helping them, initially along the way, and then pulling them into the team, which again I think is such a powerful thing that we have available to us here at ZJ International. So as we're out there attracting those new leaders to our own businesses, casting that vision in front of them, again, becomes a simple thing to do when each one of us realize what it is that we have right here in our hands. So what are some of those things that we have that we can easily use in order to cast that vision in front of the new leaders that are coming on board our teams? I mentioned the high integrity leadership that we have here, starting with Ken Brailsford as our founder, and then Rod Larson, Ryan Palmer, Jim Bastrop, and others on the management team. I get very, very excited, and now certainly over the last couple of years of actually knowing these folks personally and being able to do cruises with them and Gold Rush events and other events, international events and things that we've been able to do at convention and all of those things, getting to know them much more on a personal level. Just some quality people that we are on board this team with. So that's certainly one of the areas that we can easily utilize to cast the vision in front of the new leaders that we are attracting onto our team with us. Well, obviously also at the foundation of what we have here and how we can utilize these things to cast this vision, it's easy for us to be able to tell them the power that we have in Moringa oleifera itself. Now, I'm not saying that we have to study and know everything there is to know about moringa, but just to know that it is a powerful plant, that it is the most nutritionally dense plant on the planet. And, you know, I mean, we probably all have heard Uncle Russ talk about the power of moringa, and that Zija is the moringa company. That, to me, just speaks volumes. Not only do we know that moringa is the most nutritionally dense and loaded plant on the planet, but now we know that Zija is the first company to bring this to market. And any leaders on the line will understand how important being first to market truly is. There are other companies are trying to come along and try to play copycat, but they're never going to be able to reach and to achieve the levels of success that Zija International is achieving and will continue to achieve as we are moving into now $250 million of a company by the end of this year. Now I'm hearing these are the projections, these are the goals that our company has. $250 million is our projected growth in annualized sales by the end of this year. And we on this line and our teams are the ones that are actively doing the things that are allowing Zija International to be able to reach its goals as a company. And folks, that's why they're doing these incentives and these promotions, because they're wanting to thank us. They're wanting to give back to those of us that are actively building our businesses, that are allowing the company to achieve these goals. So we have all of these things here within our hands to be able to easily cast that vision. Again, from the corporate leadership, the high integrity leadership, all the management team, to the tree itself, and then being the first to market. I'm just kind of giving you some nuggets that you can use and utilize to cast the vision out there in front of these new folks that we are attracting that will become leaders in our organization. Now, I've heard this said many, many times. There's going to be brand new distributors that aren't even in Zija yet that are going to be coming on in the recent months ahead, excuse me, that will be achieving greater success than even some of those that are on board with us already. Why? Because we have been able to be ahead of them to pave the way and to help them. There's folks within my own organization that we have been able to help achieve the level of diamond months and months sooner and quicker than we were able to achieve it. Why is that? Again, because of the team concept. Because as everything develops and we're able to hold hands and we're able to help lead. I'm not saying it's because of us. But we're able to work with the new people in helping them to achieve high levels of leadership even quicker than it took us to achieve it. And I know that we're seeing that throughout Zija Nation because everything is in place. And we also have all the promotions that we're talking about. The one that's coming up here in the next couple of weeks. This should all be part of us casting this vision out there for other people that Ken Brailsford is always looking for better ways, more ways, bigger ways, if you will, to benefit those of us in the field that are actively working and sharing and building our businesses. So, you know, this is one of the things that we definitely should be doing is casting this vision out there in front of the new people, the new leaders that you and I are attracting to our business. Now, I just got so into that, I'm realizing it is the bottom of the hour. Let me just say, if there's anyone on the moderator line, any leaders, Emerald or above, that would like to share something very briefly, if you've got an event coming up, or if you just want to add a little nugget to what was mentioned and talked about today, jump on for a minute or so, be fine. If not, we'll close out the call. All right, folks. This is Doug Stroop. My wife Amy and I, Black Diamonds in the company. Thank you to David Moses, who has allowed me to do the call this morning as he is traveling. We are also traveling, but just thank him for the opportunity to do the call. Folks, hopefully it's been educational to each of us on the line to aspire to new levels, to new heights within our own organizations here within Teach International. With that, go ahead and open up the lines. The lines are now open. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Great call, Great call. Great call.